Hi folks, Uncle Ben here, and I'd like to give you a really cool statistic that I just read about this morning. So I'm recording this in January of 2025, and did you know that there's 125 electric DC fast chargers being installed per day across the United States? Now what does that mean? That means if you drive an electric car and you take a longer trip, you have more opportunities to charge your car and more places to charge it. The other cool thing, shout out to Tesla, they have the biggest charger network in the United States. 50% of the electric cars sold in the United States are sold by Tesla, and they've opened up their charger network to other brands. Hyundai, they've opened up their charger network to Ford, and so just the use of that network makes your car that much more useful on a longer road trip. So let's talk about what's happening in the next 2 or 3 years. There's a bunch of really cool electric cars that are going for dirt cheap leases right now. Really nice cars, $50,000 Hyundais, the VW ID4. There's a bunch of cars that really are going to have a high payment if you have a regular loan, but if you do a lease, they have these super low $300 leases right now. And so what that means is you can get into a car, you can drive it for the next 3 years, and if the car does devalue because technology gets better, because that's what happens, is you can trade that car and get the electric car in 2028 that's going to have a 600-mile range. Because let me tell you something, no matter what happens politically in this country, technology always moves forward. Okay, I was selling solar during the first Trump term, and solar installations still nationwide, there was more solar installed during Trump's term than ever before, right? So technology continues to progress. We continue to have more electric cars, more solar. Doesn't really matter who's sitting in the White House. So with electric cars, there's exciting news. There's a bunch of electric cars that people are going to lease right now for $300 a month. And I'm talking about the Ioniq 5. I'm talking about the VW, the ID4, like nice, solid electric cars that get over 300 miles per charge. While those people are sitting on those leases driving their electric cars around, they're putting in 125 DC fast chargers a day. So when those leases are up in 2028, everyone benefits. There's going to be more range. We have solid state batteries coming online, so there's going to be cars like the Chevy Bolt here that instead of having a 240 mile range, they're going to have a 440 mile range or a 540 mile range or even a 600 mile range. And if you have more chargers and longer range on the electric cars, no one's worried about range anymore. It's no longer an issue. There is a parallel to this in history. When Ford put out the Model T, there were no gas stations. Think about it. You had to actually, if you do a deep dive on this, you actually had to go buy petroleum at a pharmacy or the general store. So there was no gas stations when Ford started selling the Model T left and right. So what happened? There was demand. There were Ford Model Ts everywhere. There was a demand for service stations. There was a demand for people who could service the cars. An entire industry sprang up. And what that means is that as there's more electric cars on the road, as they become 100% mainstream, you're going to have chargers everywhere. You're going to have chargers at hotels and restaurants. You're going to have more chargers at gas stations. You're going to have a change in technology, a true transition. So if you're interested, maybe you hate electric cars, you're not going to watch this video anyway, but if you've never owned an electric car, I would encourage you to go to Hyundai. Mercedes has electric cars, Audi has electric cars, Chevy has some great electric cars, Honda even now has the Prologue, Acura has an electric car, which is really just a rebranded Chevy. Go test drive an electric car today and check it out, because I think if you've never driven an electric car and you drive one, you're going to realize that this is truly the future. I hope everyone has a great day. God bless, and I hope everyone has a prosperous 2025.